Hey there, Nationeers, and other people who may have stumbled upon this vlog. My name is Kaleb Nation, and this hair was just cut 2 days ago, and that's why it is short, and making me look like I have a giant forehead. Luckily for me, writers don't have to leave the house unless they want to, which could be why I haven't left the house all week. The writer part, not the hair part, even though the short haircut has contributed to my lack of desire to go out in public. Yes, I have been writing on a book. I haven't really mentioned much about this book because it's kind of my secret project in that I don't really know how good of a story idea it is. Sometimes whenever a writer comes up with an idea, the idea seems great in his or her mind, but after a while, after finishing it, putting all the work into it, whenever you look back on this story, you see that it was abysmal. It's for that reason that all these authors on Twitter are always talking about their secret projects with the hashtag secret project or whatever they call their secret book, because they don't want to tell people about it just in case it actually turns out to be horrible and they just don't know it. A lot of you know some stuff about my secret project because I've read bits and pieces of it on a blog TV show, and I've also talked about it on Twitter ever since I had the idea 6 months ago. I wrote the entire book in a month about 6 months ago, and then I sat on it for a while I went on tour and I promoted Brent Hambrick and I was doing a bunch of other stuff. I thought the story was glorious. But then 6 months later, whenever I sat down to reread this story that I thought was so glorious, it turned out that it wasn't really written that well. Actually, it was very bad. The story was kind of written in a way where it was a combination between an outline, a screenplay, and a little bit of a grocery list. Not really something that was interesting to read, but that's the thing about writing stories. I still love the story so much that I decided to do the most drastic possible thing that I could, and that is take the book, put it aside, and rewrite the entire story from start to finish. Not just revise, but start from page 1 and write. I've been rewriting the story for about 3 weeks now, and I haven't missed a single word from that first draft. The thing as a writer is that sometimes you have this great idea, and you love the idea, but you just can't get it out on paper the way that it should be. That's the awesome thing about being able to rewrite, because if you want to be an author, you can't just sit down and write a story all the way through. You have to be willing to write the story in the best way that it possibly can, even if that means starting over from the beginning and writing the whole thing a second time. So this is the plotting grid for the chapters that I'm working on right now. I took my old story and I said, well, this is basically just going to be an outline for the final draft, and I replotted the story from beginning to end on all of these pieces of paper, see my notes and things, and I figured out everything that I could possibly change from this first draft while still keeping the story that I love so much. I've set a deadline on myself to rewrite 1 chapter every day until I finish this book. The reason why I have these circles underneath my eyes is because I was up until 4 a.m. rewriting on a new chapter. Sometimes you just have to do that. Now, I can't really tell you guys very much about this story, but I can tell you it's one of my favorite ideas out of any story that I've ever written. It's for a bit of an older audience, it's for teenagers, and it's kind of a more paranormal, modern sort of story. This new book is also kind of the reason that I've been slowing down on posting videos, because as you can see from my messy desk, it's kind of taken over my life. And I guess that's kind of what stories are supposed to do. You're supposed to forget to do the laundry, and you're supposed to forget to eat, and you're supposed to forget to take a shower. Because what I've learned is that if you want to write a good story, you have to find an idea that you love so much that you forget everything else around you, and all you want to do is sit there and write. And then whenever you turn and look at the clock, all of a sudden it's 4 a.m. and then you have to sleep till noon. It's kind of funny whenever I'm typing away and I look over and I see the sunrise out my window. For the comments, what sort of stories do you enjoy reading? Do you like reading the paranormal romance, the vampire stories? Do you like reading stories that are just set in real life, like John Green books? Or do you like reading adventure stories? Or what sort of books do you enjoy reading? Let me know in the comments. Bye.
Kaleb, it's his blog you wanna see, and his videos will help you get by, so make sure you subscribe.